Man, what a nice, peaceful, non-terrifying day out in the radius. I decided to have a nice picnic, you see. I brought only the essentials. But you know what? It's just a little bit too dark here. I was just thinking to myself, hey, what if I could bring the sun to me? Thankfully, if you have also had this issue, then I have a solution for you. You might be thinking to yourself, hey, why am I looking directly upward right now? There's nothing up there. That's because every single time I look down, I go completely blind from all the glare. You know, if the devs don't want to have a headlamp in this game, then so be it. I will simply illuminate everything instead of just what I'm looking at. So this is how this works. As you can see, I have kind of like what looks like an undersea creature stuffed in my my little pouch here. It's all flashlights. It's actually extremely heavy, but it is also very, very cheap. It is effective, as you can see right now, and my eyes can very much feel because they're frying right now. I can actively feel the liquid coming off of my eyeballs from how much glare there is on the lenses. I want it to be day, all day, every day, all the time. And that is why I bring you the Iris Obliterator 9000. Why is it called the Iris Obliterator 9000? Well, I already told you about the great discomfort that it causes to your eyeballs. There's also, as the name suggests, there's 9,000, so there are 10 flashlights here. Not only does it work great at night, which it isn't right now, but also it works great indoors, where you'd ordinarily also have to light up. As you can see right now, it looks brighter than it ever has before. And hey, you know, you get to see all the textures very, very clearly this way. Even if you do have to set all your settings down to, all of them down to low, so that you can actually get this working in the first place. Hey, what you do get to see, it's very clear. Not only do close things look clear, but so do far away things. In fact, I never even noticed whatever that is over there until right now. And I'm sure it's all because of the Iris Obliterator 9000 right here. Now this is actually the Iris Annihilator Plus, 9000 Plus, because I have 2 pocket lamps with it. Normally, the usual Iris Annihilator 9000 is just the 10 flashlights. However, I do have the Plus version, which is going to run you up a bit more money. But before I go into pricing and benchmarks, let me just show a little greater demonstration of how this works. So it is currently 22 hours in the middle of the night, and as you can see, there is nothing hidden from me. I haven't been jump scared once. There is not a single anomaly I haven't noticed yet. There is not a single spider, hate show, whatever you want to call them, that have run up on me. And there is not a single gun flip that I have failed yet. There is not a single piece of ash that I have missed. As you can see, we have the full 200 degrees of freedom here. And that does include the extra field of view that is added to recordings. Since recording only records the right eye, it records a little bit more of what I don't really quite notice. So this model that I have here actually has 2 extra flashlights to help illuminate stuff in recordings. They are both placed in the right. But before I get too deep into the different models of the Iris Annihilator, let's go back home and I can discuss different models, benchmarks, and pricing with all of you. Now, as you can see in the shop, each flashlight will run you 50 radius bucks. And if you get the Plus version with both flashlights, that's another 800 by itself. So altogether, that is about... How much is that? That's going to run you about 1,300 radius bucks. But this is obviously much more than any person generally is going to need, unless you're willing to pay a premium. But understandably, many explorers are not on the higher tier of income. Not only that, but many explorers don't have a very powerful GPU to run this, including me. It's not very present in recordings, but the amount of visual artifacts, the amount of glare, it's absolutely disturbing. So I'll be running over some other models with you. So let me demonstrate to you all what some of the more budget-friendly options and different configurations that you can do with the Iris Annihilator are. The first model we have here is the Iris Annihilator 7000. It contains 6 flashlights and 0 pocket lamps. How it works is there is a grid with 6 flashlights. 3 of them are facing downward and 3 are facing in the center, so you can see what is directly in front of you, and you can see what is on the ground in front of you. And since these are high-powered flashlights, the distance does go pretty far with the center ones. But this is a pretty standard option. It works very well, I can say. This is the first option that I started running with, and I can say it worked perfectly fine. It's also not too difficult on your GPU, but it does definitely still get the job done. Always remember to turn off your flashlights after you put them on the floor, by the way, or else you'll run into performance issues. Now, the model that I have for you right now is the Iris Annihilator 5000 Concentrated Edition. pattern. So how this one works is it focuses 4 flashlights in one center area where you're going to be looking the most. Since a lot of this game you're going to spend either looking downward at Pecho trying to eat your face off, or you're going to be collecting items off the ground. And this model works perfectly for that, and it concentrates it in a specific pattern so that just what you're looking at and just what you need to look at is the most illuminated. Now, the model that I have here is the Iris Annihilator 7000 Prism. It is shaped in a triangle pattern that is pointing downward, so that you can see stuff that is directly in front of you and some stuff that might be further upward, so you can catch some of those more finer details that the devs have left in for us. But it doesn't detract from being able to see what is directly in front of you and what is most important. And it gives you a little bit more at the bottom to look at in case you drop something on the ground, like a flashlight. As you can see, it landed directly where the flashlight was pointing, and there was no issues finding it or seeing it. Now, the model that I have for you right now is the Iris Annihilator Plus 2000. It contains 2 flashlights at the bottom, so you can see what's directly in front of you. Well, I mean, you might be looting. What kind of the corpse of the demon creature that you just fell, plus the 2 premium pocket lamps, so you can properly see what is directly ahead. Now, the benefit of these is that the pocket lamps are much wider than the average flashlight. However, the major downside of that is that the light does not go quite as far. Another great upside to this, though, is that it's not quite as performance heavy as some of those other models. Now, the last model I have to show you here is the Iris Annihilator Travel Edition. As you can see, we have 9 premium lightning rods here, which produce an absolutely insane amount of light, so you can see as far as humanly possible in a nice, convenient, and carryable package. One of the great benefits of this is that all the light is facing away from you when you don't need it. So if you ever want to turn it off, but not actually turn off all these different flashlights, you can simply put the backpack on your back, and boom, it's gone. You'll never see it. But as soon as you want it, all you have to do is reach over your shoulder, and one of the great benefits of this is that it's stationary. Say you want to get some good lighting for a video. Boom! Now you have your own portable camera crew and lighting setup. This is quite good if you want to capture a real shiny looking thumbnail too. This has been Commander Cream. Yeah.